Alright, so for tonight, we are going to define what is a financial statement or your financial statements, okay? We are going to identify the importance of your financial statements as well later on. And of course, our core topic for tonight, ano ba yung types or what are the types of your financial statements and what are the different information that they are conveying to us, okay? Or what are the information that are communicated using these financial statements. And of course, identify how and where financial statements are made and learn to read financial statements. So basically, no, kung magdidig deeper ka dito sa part na to, learn how to read your FS, you are actually going into your pwedeng MS na or FINMAN kasi kung pupunta ka dun sa part na yon, doon papasok or doon may inject yung FS analysis, okay? But anyway, dito sa basic accounting natin, I'll just be teaching you the basic muna. Syempre, ano ba yung nandito sa loob ng FS mo or ano ba yung makikita mo doon? Syempre, ano yung nakapresent sa'yo sa FS? How will you read that? And of course, meron akong 10 important things na nilista para sa'yo that you need to know about your financial statements. If you wanted to do decision making, let's say you are an owner, you are a creditor, you are an investor, it's not enough to see just only one type of the FS of the company because you still have number 2, your income statement. Okay? Malay mo, liquid siya pero hindi pala siya profitable. Okay? Why? Because isa na naman yan sa mga items na naiko-communicate ng FS natin. Your profitability is actually having an offset with your liquidity. Okay? So kung pupunta ka dyan, if you will dig deeper to that, nasa FINMAN ka na actually. Okay? So punta tayo sa income statement mo. This is also important because katulad na sabi ko kanina, kung creditor ka at gusto mo lang makita ang liquidity ng company mo, pwede mo siguro makita to. But if you are an investor, you should also look at the profitability side of the company. So, saan mo makikita to? Makikita mo to sa income statement. And your income statement can also be referred as your statement of revenue and expense, or for the other companies, because we have your other items, we call it your statement of comprehensive income. Ito naman yung aside from your income from your original or daily operation, okay, you add your gains or your other revenues that you have for the company. Okay? So your revenue is the inflows resulting from the sale of the product. Okay? For the other revenue, yun naman yung mga incidental gains mo. Let's say, hindi ka naman nagbebenta ng PPE, but for the current year, nagbenta ka ng PPE mo or ng machinery mo kasi gusto mo nang bumili ng bago. Assuming nagkaroon ka ng gain nung binenta mo yon kasi yung book value mo is less than the selling price, meaning mas mataas yung selling price mo, mas mataas yung natanggap mo kasi sa book value, that will be part of your other gain. So kaya meron tayong comprehensive income kasi doon napapasok yung mga other revenues or other gains mo. Let's say, gains mo pa sa mga investments, di ba? If you have subsidiary, papasok din dyan. Okay. So, dito sa income statement mo, number 1 na makikita mo dyan is yung profitability mo. Okay? And of course, you will be able to see ano ba yung percentage ng expenses mo sa total na kinikita mo, di ba? Dito mo makikita na assuming pumapasok sa'yo every year is 5 million. So, out of that 5 million, ilang percent yung nagagastos mo as part of your expense? Baka naman yung 4 million na pupunta rin lahat sa expense mo yon. Dito mo rin makikita yan sa income statement. So, yan yung mga information na nako-convey sa atin, no? Kanina rin sa ating financial position. Kaya ko sinabi na out of your total asset, ilan ang galing sa liability mo. Baka naman asset nga siya, it's presented as asset, yun pala, in terms of your financing, di ba? Ang dami mo na palang utang. It's not also ideal. So, doon na makikita ng mga investor natin or ng creditor na it's also risky. Okay? Kung gano'n na pala yung financial position ng company. And gano'n din naman dito sa income statement natin. Dito mo makikita yung mga information na yan. Okay? So what else? Let's say sa mga taxes mo, di ba? Sa company taxes mo, dito mo na makikita yan. Then, i-compare mo siya sa actual tax return mo. Tapos makikita mo yung difference you have sa financial position mo. Babalikan mo ulit, meron ba akong deferred taxes? Asset or liability, tama ba? Yes. So, yan yung mga information. And actually, they are interrelated. Okay? Now, when you go to FS analysis later on, kung sakasakaling nandito ka at naka-enroll ka, di ba? Pag pumunta kang FS analysis, makikita mo yung importance ng completeness nitong FS mo because in analyzing your whole FS or your company, you need the different type of FS, especially your balance sheet and your income statement together. Because if you wanted to know, let's say the return on your asset, okay? Kasi pag sinabi mo return on asset, of my total asset, ilan ba yung bumabalik sa akin, di ba? Kumbaga ito yung part sa company mo na, oops, nag-invest ako ng asset. Meron ako mga PPE. Kumikita ba tong PPE ko? Nagiging productive ba sila? Dito ba makikita yon? With the relationship of your financial position to your income statement. Okay? So again, sa financial position mo, you are looking at the certain number or quantity or your financial information of your asset, liabilities, and equity at a point in time. Ang difference naman nila ngayon ni income statement mo now is under your income statement, you are looking at this FS for a period. So kung ipapresent mo siya as part of your FS, ang presentation mo is let's say CPAORS, the company, and then statement of revenue and expense or let's say income statement for the period ended. So yun yung nasa title mo, for the period ended. Why? Because next year, zero balance na ulit. Yung mga balance mo ng sale, ng revenue, ng expense. Zero out ulit yan. Okay? So assuming 2020 meron kang income statement for the period of 2020, okay, for the period ended December 31, 2020, pagpunta mo ng 2021, zero out ulit yung accounts mo na yan. Okay? So, let me share lang, no? Let's say you have revenue, you have sales, you have cost of sales, you have gross profit. So, ito, part to ng income statement mo, tama? You have items here, okay? Ang presentation mo ngayon yan is for the period. Kung ilan yung na-accumulate mo only for the period. Now, ano yung pinagkaiba nila kay statement of financial position mo? Si statement of financial position kasi from the beginning of time, let's say nag-start ka ng operation mo 2011 until the end of 2020 na pinag-uusapan natin today, yung item ng assets, liabilities, and equities mo, lahat yan, dagdag bawas na dyan yung balance mo from the beginning of 2011 na nagsimula ang operation mo. Whereas, when you talk of your income statement, okay, every year, nagsi-zero out itong sales account mo, cost of sales account, and then gross profit. Okay? So, that's one of the differences of the two. Alright. So, let's go back to your presentation. Okay? So, wag kang malilito because for your income statement, you are looking at the performance of the company per year. Kaya mo nga i-compare yung income statement mo, let's say, ng 3 years, i-check mo. Anong year ang pinakamaganda ang performance ng company? Doon pumapasok yun. Magkakaroon ka ng trend analysis, okay? Comparison, increase or decrease, di ba? Kasi nga, ang kino-compare mo is per period. Ano yung nangyari ng period 1, ano yung nangyari ng period 2 and period 3. Okay? Yan yung isa na naman sa mga information na pwede mo makuha using your income statement. Okay? Let's now go to the next one. Your statement of cash flow. For the statement of cash flow, it is showing you actually from the word itself, the movement of your cash from the cash disbursement and your cash receipt. And actually, it is also divided into 3 activities. Your operating activity, your investing activity, and your financing activity. Okay? Alright. So, your statement of cash flow is a report showing the movement of your cash. Now, punta tayo dun sa tatlo mong types of activities for the year. So, itong operating activities mo, the operating activities are said to be it, okay? Bakit natin tinatawag na operating activities? Because it pertains to the movement of the current asset and current liability. Meaning, yung normal operation ng company. Kumbaga yung working capital mo, di ba? Ano yung nagiging movement nila? Diyan mo makikita yan. Okay? What are your collections? What are your disbursement? Or what are your receipts for the year na connected sa working capital mo or sa current assets and current liabilities. Now, when you talk of your investing activities, okay, it is in general pertaining to the movement of your non-current asset because it's more of your PPE, your capital investments, dyan papasok yan, okay? And your financing, dito papasok yung funding ng company natin, okay? Let's say you are using debt financing, dyan papasok yan. Okay? What else? You are using equity financing, whatever disbursement or receipts that you have for the year, dito papasok yan sa financing activities natin. Alright? So for financing activities, it is generally pertaining to non-current liabilities and your equity. Alright? So, meron ka ng mga clue, no? Parang hindi ka malito later on, lalo na kapag pumunta ka sa mga problem solvings mo. Lalo na kung enrolled ka na dito, o kaya naman kung nagre-review ka on your own. Kasi minsan nakakalito to, di ba? Under your cash flow, wag kang malilito ha. Yung operating activities mo, generally, it pertains to the movement or that is the disbursement or your receipts that is related to your current asset or current liabilities. Now, when you go to the investing side of your cash flow, ito yung movement ng cash mo na related sa non-current assets mo. Bumili ka ng capital asset, bumili ka ng PPE. Nagbenta ka ng PPE, dyan papasok yan sa investing. Bumili ka machinery para sa operation mo, para sa production mo. That's part of your non-current asset, pasok sa investing yan. Okay? Under your financing, ano yung natitira sa items ng financial position mo? Ang natitira, non-current liabilities and equity. So, doon na papasok yun. Okay? Alright. Actually, may clue ka din dyan, di ba? Kung babalik ka sa financial position mo of your total asset, what is backed or what is funded or financed by liability or equity. Ang pinag-uusapan natin sa liability part is more of your non-current liability. So, connected siya dito sa statement of cash flow mo. So, basically, ang cash flow mo is only a movement of your cash. So, saan mo ginamit yung cash mo? Bumili ka ba ng PPE? Okay? May pumasok na cash sa'yo. Galing ba yan sa utang or galing sa investment ng shareholder mo? Okay? Yan yung mga items na kasali sa cash flow mo. Alright? Okay. Uy, but mind you hindi porket mataas ang number ng cash mo for this year, let's say yung sa cash flow mo, ending balance, syempre yan yung nasa balance ng cash mo sa FS mo, hindi rin maganda pag masyadong mataas. Meaning, you are holding too much cash, hindi ka nag-earn sa cash, di ba? Try mong hawakan yung pera mo, itago mo lang sa wallet mo. May ma-earn ka ba? Wale, okay? So, it's not also good na sobrang mataas yung cash mo. Although, it's good, syempre, makakabayad ka ng utang mo, but in the long term or in the long run, talking about a corporation, assuming, di ba, lalo na kung ganyan mga kalaking company yan, it's also good if you invest it perhaps in your operation or in terms of the funding of your company, okay? Next is your statement of changes in equity. So, meron lang akong konting hint para alam mo lang kasi baka lagi kang natutuwa, uy, mataas yung cash ni company, maganda to. O kaya naman, nagkaroon ka ng FISIB, no? Nagkaroon ka ng FISIB undergrad. Oops, yung movement ng cash flow ko pataas ng pataas, maganda to. Yun pala, looking at it, na tinitingnan siya nung proctor nyo, ano bang tawag na ulit doon? Yung mga judge, nakalimutan ko na. Okay? Yun, hindi rin nila pala gusto kasi ang sobrang pataas na cash is not totally favorable. So, dapat invest mo din yung cash mo. Parang ikaw, pag may extra kang cash dyan sa wallet mo, pwede sigurong ipambili mo ng ibebenta mo din. O, diba? Kikita ka pa. Anyway, let's go back here to the changes statement of the changes in equity. So dito naman sa statement of changes in equity is basically showing the capital composition of the business and of course the movement of that one. So ang makikita mo dito usually, the movement of the stockholders' equity. Okay, number one, yung capital stock mo. So, are there any additional investments coming in the company? Ano yung mga naging withdrawal ng mga stockholders natin? And of course, the changes in your retained earnings. Mahalaga din yan, no? So, dati, nakaseparate pa yung statement of changes in retained earnings. But now, kasali na siya dito. It's already part of your changes in equity. And under your retained earnings, actually, dito na papasok yung naging net income mo or net deficit during the operation. What else? Your dividends, okay, if any, kung nag-allow ang ating mga directors or board of directors, kasi dito na makikita yan sa retained earnings. And yung retained earnings mo, kasali na siya dito sa statement of changes in equity. So any movement will now be reflected on this specific financial statement type. Okay, that is your statement of changes in equity. So your capital shows the amount of the contributions of your owners to the business. Okay? And the result of the operation is reflected on your retained earnings. May that be a positive result or a negative result. And any dividend payment during the period. So, katulad ng sabi ko kanina, no? Parang in English ko lang. So, yan yung nandito sa statement of changes in equity. Now, ang karamihan, pag pumunta ka sa reading, no, sa reading, interpreting ng FS mo, ang madalas mong makikita dyan or ang madalas na involved is your statement of financial position and statement of income or your income statement. Because when you talk of number one, your returns, your profitability, your liquidity, what else, your turnover ratios, yan yung mga involved sa analysis mo. Okay? Kasali rin naman dyan si statement of cash flow. So, itong si changes in equity, may kita mo lang kasi dito, di ba, yung movement. So, in terms of your ratio, kung ilan yung finance by the investor or your shareholders, mas makikita mo na yun kung babalikan mo si statement of financial position. Okay?